Hello students, greetings. I'm Deepak Sharma, lecturer in English from Amritsar, and today we are going to read the chapter 3 questions. It's a story. Now first of all, would you tell me when do you generally get up in the morning? Yes, at 6, some at 7, some at 5. But before getting up, sometimes you open your eyes, right? And you just see the time and then you sleep again. Does it happen or not? Yes, definitely it happens. You buy time. So either you sleep 15 minutes more or half an hour more. So do you ever think that which is the right time to get up? Or when you take food, sometimes you take food at 2 or 3. So do you generally think which is the best time to take food? Or who is the best person you want to take the food along with? So these are some of the questions that often strike your mind, but you never get the answer. Now, the story we are going to read, it's about the same thing, the same type of questions. Now, before starting the story, let's go for some new words that will help you in understanding the story in a better way. So let's go through the words. The first word is certain. Certain. Certain means definite. It's sure. It's sure to happen. It's certain. Okay. Second word is action. Action means to do something, to eat, to laugh, to run, to go. So these are all actions. Messengers. You remember there was a movie also, Messengers of God. Okay. So messenger is one who carries a message, like a postman. He carries a message of one person to another, or sometimes your teachers give message and to for some other teacher. So you take the message to other teachers. So you become a messenger. Kingdom. Kingdom means a country ruled by a king or queen. Okay, like United Kingdom. Okay, it's again we have queen there. Okay, impossible. Impossible means that cannot be done. That's beyond imagination. It can be done. Okay, in advance. In advance, beforehand, prior. Okay, so prior to do something. So beforehand to do something. Like you know that rainy season is about to come and you buy umbrella. So you buy umbrella in advance. Seemed, looked, it seemed, it looked to me. Necessary, it's very important, essential, that is required. Particular, particular means special, that is something different. Like this is the particular day of my life, this is my birthday, so it's a special day. Warfare, it's a conflict between two persons or countries. Okay, like America and China. Okay, there is a conflict. India and Pakistan, there is a conflict. So that's warfare. Religious, it's holy, related to religion. Okay, like some sacred buildings are there, so they are religious. Satisfied, contented. Satisfied, contented. Okay, there are some more words. Seek. Seek means to consult something. I seek your advice, consult your advice. Hermit. A person living alone or a saintly person. Common, very simple. Bodyguard. A person who guards someone, like the kings or some celebrities or some dignitaries or the president of India, he has his bodyguard. Even, there was a movie of Salman Khan named Bodyguard. Digging. Digging means turn over the earth with a spade. So, when the gardeners are about to sow something or the farmers are about to sow their crops, they dig the land. Okay, they dig the land with spade or they dig the land with machines. Breathe heavily, to take breath quickly. Okay, so to breathe, inhale, exhale. Greeted, it's welcomed. Affairs, matters, I have some affairs to do, I have some matters to do. Attention means to observe. Like your teachers generally say in the class, pay attention. It means you observe the things intently. Repeated, to do again and again, again and again. So it's rehearse and repeat. Spade, it's a tool for digging, right? Spade, which has a wooden end at one side. Stretched out, it's demanded. Bed. Bed can be a bed on which you sleep or a bed of roses, a bed of vegetables. So it's a piece of land for vegetables. Stuck, fixed or caught. Like I was stuck somewhere, so I got late. So I was caught somewhere. So these are some words. Let's start with reading the story now. A thought came to the mind of a certain king. He thought he would never fail in anything if he knew three things: the right time for an action, the right people to listen to, and the most important thing to do. So, three things he came to his mind. First, the right time for an action, the right people to listen to, and the most important thing to do. The king sent messengers throughout his kingdom. He promised a large sum of money as a gift to anyone who would answer these questions. Many wise men came to the king with their answers, but their answers were all different. So that was the thought of a king. He wanted the answer of three questions. So he sent his messengers throughout the country, but whatever the answers he found, they were all different. So he could not conclude now what to do, which answer is the best one. Okay? Now what happened next? In reply to the first question, remember what was the first question? The right time to do something. Some said the king must prepare a timetable and follow it strictly. Others said it was impossible to decide in advance the right time for everything. Therefore, the king should notice everything and do whatever seemed necessary at that particular time. Now, do you notice the difference in opinions? Some people are saying so a timetable should be made. Some are saying it is impossible to decide in advance. Some are saying that it is about that particular time how to plan the things. Okay, let's read further. Yet others said the king should have a council of wise men to tell him the right time for every action. So they suggested that king should have some wise men around him, a group of men who would guide him that this is the right time. Some others said the king must have magicians. Magicians means those who have magical powers. Only magicians can look into the future and tell the right time for an action. Equally different were the answers to the second question. Now, what was the second question? Do you remember? Yeah, the right people to listen to. So, who were the right people to listen to? So, what were the opinions to this question? Some said the right people for a king to listen to were his advisors. The advisors who can advise the king in taking some decisions. Others said his soldiers were the most important for him, and so on. Now, if we look into it, if we dig deeper, first, what were the most important question? For listening advice? Yes, his advisors. What was the other opinion? That who were the others? Yes, they were his soldiers. Let's read further. To the third question, some said the most important thing was science. Others said it was warfare. Still others said it was religious worship. So we have three different answers of the question that what was the most important thing to do, science or warfare or religious worship. So these were three different opinions. All the answers were so different that the king was not satisfied. Even the king got confused what to do now. He had so many options in that. He gave no one any reward. Now he decided to seek the advice of a certain hermit who was known for his wisdom. So there was a hermit living in his kingdom, and he was known for his wisdom, intelligence, or you can say intellect. This hermit lived in a wood which he never left. So he was living in a type of jungle, forest, in a wood isolated house. He never left it. He met none but common people. So he was not in a habit to meet kings or the rich, wealthy people. He always used to welcome the common people, layman, average people. So the king put on very simple clothes. Before reaching the hermit's hut, he got off his horse. He left the horse with his bodyguard and went on alone. So the king knew in advance that if he would go to hermit in king's getup, he won't ever see him. So he disguised himself as a common man and went to the hermit. Okay, so he got off his horse, he went to his hut. So question is, where did the king go for advice? Yes, to a hermit where he was living. He was living in an isolated place in a wood, in a forest. Now what happened next? As the king came near the hermit's hut, he saw the hermit was digging the ground in front of his hut. So what was hermit doing at that very time? He was digging the ground. He was digging the land. The hermit greeted the king and continued digging. So he was indifferent towards that who came, and he continued with his job. He was digging. The hermit was old and weak. What was the physical condition of hermit? He was old and weak. Now, as he worked, he breathed heavily. You know why he was breathing heavily? Yes, because he was digging the land in front of his hut. The king went up to the hermit and said, "O wise hermit, I have come to know from you the answers to three questions. How can I learn to do right thing at the right time? Who are the most important people for me? And what affairs need my first attention?" So he told all the questions to Hermit that he needed answers of these three questions in a pleading manner, in a requesting manner. The Hermit listened to the king but said nothing. So he didn't say anything, didn't say even a word. He went on digging. Again the king said, "You are tired, let me have the spade and dig for you." Now, as king didn't get any response, so he tried to convince the hermit in this way that give me the spade and I will dig this land for you. Maybe this is an important task for you. The question is, what was hermit doing when king came to his hut? Yes, the answer is he was digging the land in front of his hut. So, did Hamid answer to King's questions? No, he didn't answer. He kept on digging the land. He didn't say a word. So finally, what did the king say to Hamid? He said, "I think you are tired, so let me have the spade and dig for you." So the king started digging. Now let's read further. "Thanks," said the hermit. He gave his spade to the king and sat down on the ground. When the king had dug two beds, he stopped and repeated his questions. Now, when did the king repeat his questions? When he had dug two beds. You remember what is bad? Bad means it's a land where he is going to sow some vegetables, some flowers, okay? In Hindi language or Punjabi language, we say it kyari beds. Still the hermit gave no answer. He stood up, stretched out his hand for the spade, and said to the king. Now again when the king asked the questions, Hermit did not give any answer. What he did, he just stood up and stretched his hand for the spade and demanded his spade back. So he took the spade and said to the king, "You can rest for a while and let me work." Now he felt that king is tired, so he offered that now you take rest for a while and let me work. But the king did not give him the spade. He continued digging for a long time. The sun had gone down behind the trees. At last the king stuck the spade into the ground and said, "O wise hermit, I came to you to know the answers to my questions. If you have none to give, please tell me so. I will go back home. It's getting late." Now, for the whole day, king kept on digging the ground for hermit, but he was not getting any answer. Now he directly asked again from the hermit that, "O wise hermit, if you are not going to give the answers of my questions, you just tell me and I can go back home because it's getting late, it's getting dark, and I'm to go to my home." Now the question is, did king get the answers of his questions? No, the hermit did not give any answer. So finally what the king said to him, that he needed the answers, and if he doesn't have anything to say, allow him to leave. Okay, so the next part of the story will be continued in our next part. Now let's do some of the exercises. The first is your vocabulary expansion. You have got to know the new words. Now let's try those words or phrases in the sentences. The first word is messenger. I told you who is the messenger, one who carries a message. So the sentence would be, he got the summons through a messenger from the court, or he got an invitation from the messenger of the king, or I acted as a messenger for him. Prepare. Prepare means to get ready. So let's prepare for exams, or let's prepare the chart. The third is necessary. Necessary means that is really needed, required. Hard work is necessary for success in life. Yes, everyone knows. We know hard work is the key to success, or hard work is necessary for success in life. Necessary means which is very important. Like you can say a pen is necessary for writing, pen or pencil. Satisfied. Satisfied means pleased, contented. My boss is satisfied with my work. My teacher is satisfied. I'm satisfied from my life, with my life. Spade, I told you it's a agricultural equipment, or the gardeners they use it for this thing, for digging. So a tool used for digging. The farmer was digging in his land with a spade.
Now you have another activity to do, and the name of the activity is vocabulary expansion. In this activity, you will have to fill up these blanks, opposites of the given words.
What are the bracketed words? You'll have to give the exact opposites or antonyms of these words. First of all, I'm going to read this for you, then we'll discuss the answers. I'm not your bracket friend. Now you'll have to get the opposite of friend. Okay, you remember what? Okay, we'll discuss afterwards. He's a very faithful dash of mine. In bracket, the word is master. Old man was too dash to walk. In bracket, the word is strong. You remember what's the opposite of strong? Yes, weak, who has less strength. The hermit was known for his dash. The word is foolishness. I have warned him for the next time. First. Yeah, but can be the opposite of the first? It can be last, I think. Yes. The farmer was dashed the seeds in his field. The word is reaping. So, what are the words that are given in the brackets? Friend, master, strong, foolishness, first, and reaping. Now let's find the answers. I'm not an enemy of yours. So antonym of friend is enemy or foe. He is very faithful servant of mine. So master, servant, or the word servitude, it is added from, it has been derived from this word serve. The old man was too weak to walk. It's another type of sentence also, use of to and to. So opposite of strong is weak. The hermit was known for his wisdom, intelligence, foolishness opposite. I have warned him for the last time, first and the last. The farmer was sowing seeds in his field. The farmer was sowing seeds in his field. So opposite of reaping is sowing. Now we have some multiple choice questions. You'll have to read the questions. Then there are three options A, B, C. You will have to click the right option. So I'm reading first of all the questions for you. What was the first question of the king? Option A, what is the right time for sleeping? What is the right time for eating? What is the right time for an action? I won't give you the answer. You have gone through the text, okay? So we'll discuss the answers afterwards. Let's go through all the questions. The second thing the king wanted to know was, now what was the second question? The right people to trust to, the right people to listen to, the right people to speak to. What was the exact question? Third, the third question or the third thing that the king wanted to know was the most important thing to do, the most important thing to see, the most important thing to have. Okay, so these are three questions. Now we have two more questions, then we'll give answers. The fourth question is, where did the hermit live? Where did the hermit live? In a hut, in a palace, or in a house? What was the hermit doing when king visited him? What was he doing? The hermit was digging the ground, he was sowing the seeds in the field, or he was reaping the crops. Okay, so what was the hermit doing? Now these all five questions are for you. Now I'm going to give you the answers. So the first answer of the very first question is, what was the first question? So option C is right. What is the right time for an action? What is the right time to do the things? Okay. Second, the second thing the king wanted to know was the right people to trust to, the right people to listen to, right people to speak to. So what's the right option? The right people to listen to. Okay. Then third is the third question was, king wanted to know was what? The most important thing to do, not to see, not to have. Okay, so the option A is the right option. For the fourth question, where did the hermit live? Yes, where he was living, either in a palace or in a house or in a hut. Yes, you know. Yes, the hermit was living in a hut. What was the hermit doing when the king visited him? What he was doing then? Yeah, remember what he was doing? He was digging the ground for sowing vegetables in front of his hut. So these are the multiple choice questions. I hope you all have the right answers. So clappings. Now let's do the next one. Here you will learn how to speak some of the words. Okay, and these are generally this exercise is focusing on C sound. How C consonant C sounds in different ways. If you go through these first three words, cat, caught, cut. So the sound is k sound. It's not k, it's not k, it's k. Then rice, city, spicy. Now the sound is so. So there is a rule when the letter C is followed by the vowels A, O, U, it has a hard sound. It has a k sound. When C is followed by E, I and Y, it has a soft sound, that is, it has a S sound. It has an S sound. Now say aloud along with me. Cow, coat, once. Now C is followed by E, so it has given the voice of sound of S. Once. Carriage, price, cattle, collar, recess, pencil, yes, pencil, surface, decorate, palace, decide, corner, corner, doctor, chance, chance, cinema, grocery, because, become. Okay, so should I go again? Cow, coat, once, carriage, price, cattle, collar, recess, pencil, surface, decorate, palace, decide, corner, doctor, chance, cinema, grocery, because, and become. So remember where it gives the sound of k and where it gives the sound of c. So, okay, so always remember this thing. I hope now you are clear with this. Now let's do the last activity. So learning the language, it is an activity of active and passive sentences. You know what are active and what are passive sentences? Active sentences are generally where the action, it is direct. Okay, the doer, it is giving a direct action, but the passive is where the action is indirect, it is not direct. Okay, for example, he answered my questions. He answered my questions. So this form shows the object is my questions. So they will come in the first. My questions were answered. Now it doesn't require by him. It is understood. It is by default. Either you add by him, then it's okay. Or you don't want to add, then even it's okay. Okay, so my questions were answered. God always punishes the sinners. God always punishes the sinners. The sinners are always punished. Obviously, by default, we know by God. Sooner or later, or by the law even. He will help you. You will be helped by him. So will be. Will is followed by be in third form. Is a mark plus third form. Was were plus third form. Now it's a small exercise for you. Last one. We answer all the letters regularly. All the letters as it's the first form, so are answered regularly by us. Now it's the past form. We answered all the letters regularly. In past form, is MR changes into was were. So all the letters were answered regularly by us. We shall answers all the letters regularly. Now it's a future tense, so here will and shall, they are followed by be and third form of verb. So all the letters will be answered regularly by us. So these three I have told. Now the next one is they make butter and cheese from milk. Now here you have two objects, butter and cheese. Again the first form, so are made from milk. They made the butter, it's the second form. So what would be the butter and cheese were made from milk. They will make, it's the future. Again it is followed by be plus third form. So butter and cheese will be made from this. So let's go through the answer. First answer, it is are answered. Answered, it is were answered. Shall answered, will be answered. Again make, are made, were made, and will make, will be made. So this was the first part of the chapter. 3 questions. Definitely we are coming with the second part also very soon. Now again, a recap. This was a story based on the thought of a king who was trying to get the answers of his questions.
Now, how he went to the hermit, what hermit did to him, will continue in the second part. Thank you.